Hey everybody, welcome back to the Foundations of Algebra course. In today's lesson, we will finally complete our study of the operations on the real numbers. Remember, algebra is the study of operations on the real numbers. We've been saying that for weeks now at this point, and we've got a really solid understanding of the operations, right? We've taken care of addition and of course multiplication, the two operations. And with that, understanding that subtraction we're really viewing as addition of the opposite. So now, the final piece is division. Once we have that in place, at the end of today's lesson, we will have laid down a strong foundation for the further study of algebra. You will be ready to go. We've done a great job with the operations. You've got a glimpse into all that they can do and how they work algebraically. This is exciting. Let's get to it. You ready? Let's do it. So remember, division is multiplication by the reciprocal. So for numbers, we saw, like with fractions of the type 3/4 divided by 5/7, no big deal. Dividing by 5/7 is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, namely 7/5. And once we understand that, multiplication is a breeze. We just go straight across. So 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 5 is 20. Nothing to it. The beauty is it doesn't change with algebraic expressions. For example, let's say you wanted to divide this. 3x over y squared divided by w over z cubed. Well, remember, dividing by w over z cubed is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, namely z cubed over w, just the flip. And again, once we're there, straight across, nothing to it, 3xz cubed in the top and y squared w in the denominator. That's it. It's that simple. All right, let's do a few more examples. Let's make sure everything's looking good. 4x to the 8th over y divided by y to the 5th. Ooh, interesting. All right, well, remember, dividing by y to the 5th. Oh, and you should remember that y to the 5th is really y to the 5th over 1, right? So we can think of division by y to the 5th over 1 as multiplication by its reciprocal, 1 over y to the 5th, and there we go. So multiplying straight across, we get it. Now if you notice in the denominator, we got a little bit of simplification we can do. So we take care of that now, no problem. 1y times 5 more factors of y, that gives us 6 total, doesn't it? And that's it. We got this. All right, let's sort of raise the difficulty level a bit. See how we're doing. We're going to be fine, spoiler alert. Divide this. A minus b over 4c divided by 3c cubed over a. All right, same deal as before. Nothing's changed. Dividing by that fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. All right, just flip it over. There it is, multiply. Now, this time, we still go straight across, okay? That never changes, straight across. So look at the bottom real quick. 4c times 3c cubed, no big deal. We can just go straight through there, no big deal. And in the top, we got to be a little careful here because it's a multi-term numerator, right? There's two terms in the numerator, a and b, with that minus sign in between them, so a minus b. So let's be careful, and we'll put a set of parentheses around that, because a in the second fraction, the numerator of the second fraction, that's got to get multiplied by all the terms in that first numerator. So let's put it together like that. So that's going to equal, just multiplying straight across, the quantity a minus b times a. And then the denominator, like we said, we're just mushing it together. All right, well, let's go ahead and multiply that top. So off to the side here, I'm gonna do some work off to the side here. Let me put a little bubble for some side work. So a minus b, that quantity, times a, we're gonna need some distributive property, aren't we, to do this. So what if we do this? How about let's take the a and multiply it by every term in that other factor. So a times a is a squared, and a times b is ab. So minus ab. Right? Positive times that negative b, that gives us the negative. That's why we get that a squared minus ab. All right? And in the bottom, by the way, no big deal. We could just commute the numbers. So it's 4 times 3 times c cubed. And that's just equal to 12 times how many c's total? Total factors? 4 of them. Good. C to the 4th. All right, we got it. Let's take our stuff back over, put it in place, and we got it. Looking okay? All right. How about if we had something like this? X minus 1 over 9x divided by x to the 6th over x plus 1. All right, well, again, the division part, no big deal. We got this. Dividing by that fraction is the same as multiplying by its flip. So let's multiply by the flip. And again, let's take a little bit of time to notice we've got x minus 1 times x plus 1, those quantities up in the top. So when we put them together, let's be careful to put the set of parentheses around them. All right? And the denominator just, boom, straight across. 9x times x to the 6th is 9x, x to the 6th. All right. Now, there's a little bit more to multiply here than our last example. So why don't we bring this to a new page here just to see what we got. So let's multiply that numerator out. And again, the distributive property tells us how to do that. Every term of the first, each term of the first, times each term of the second. Let's do it. Tell you what, if you want to pause and do that on your own, great. I'll meet you back in just a second. Okay, so let's distribute. So the first thing, let's take the x in that first factor and multiply it by both terms of the second. So x times x is xx. X times 1 positive is x. All right, all done with that. Now let's do the negative 1 times both terms of the second. Negative 1 times positive x is negative x, right? And negative 1 times positive 1 is negative, first of all, 1. And in the denominator, oh, that's a nice little bit of exponent work to simplify. That's just 9x to the 7, right? Now, in the numerator, let's see, that's just x squared, that first term. Look at this, plus x minus x. So it's really x, 1x minus 1x. So that's going to, x minus x, that's just going to give us 0, right? So we don't have any x's left. And we still have the minus 1. So x squared minus 1 over 9x to the 7th. Looking good? Hope that's what you guys had when you paused it. All right, let's take our answer. We'll bring it back to all that other work and just drop it in as our final answer. There we go. Looking good? Beautiful, beautiful. All right, one more thing here. Sometimes, this is just a notational issue. Look at this one. This looks kind of complex, doesn't it? It's a fraction of fractions. Well, what that really means, 2x plus 1 over y squared, and then this over 3y to the 5th over x plus 5th, we understand that fractions correspond to division. So it just really means that. It's just a compact way of writing that, isn't it? Well, once we're there, we understand how to do it, right? Tell you what, just as another self-check, why don't you pause, work through it, and then come back and we'll check our answer together in just a minute. Okay, let's see how you did. I won't do all the work here. Just gonna spray the final answer up on the screen and we'll check it out, make sure we're matching. If not, you can go back and retry, all right? But here we go. Here's the final answer when all the dust settles, all right? Okay, with that, guys, I'm gonna end it for today, and in fact, for the entire course in terms of new material. This is it. You have done an excellent job laying down that foundation, and I can't wait for you to get involved in more study of algebra. You are ready to go and dive in to as much algebra as you can ever imagine. All right, you got a great foundation. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. It was a pleasure talking the foundations of algebra with you. Take care.